Hello everyone, this is the Insomniac Jim, and today is day 18 of RPG Today. And today's question is, what is your favorite rule system? Now, I have two different ones I would say. For one, I love percentile systems. It seems like those run so smoothly, and especially with like Call of Cthulhu or Chaosium, with how skills are handled with progression and whatnot. I really like that. Like, the better you get at a skill, it's harder for you to learn to improve on it. So that's one thing I do love. Um, Another system I really love is the Palladium rule set. And this is, I got a little bit more to talk about with this, and I know not everyone likes the Palladium rule set, but my reason for liking it is kind of like the OSR. It's open for you to adjust the rules. Yeah, there are some rules you can't, but you just call and you learn them later. Now, on top of that, I like the fact that when it comes to the Palladium system, it feels like it's a good balance between a class based system and a skill based system. You're For your skills, you're rolling a D100, and you go with whatever, roll whatever's lower, and then your um, your combat is a D20, and I love that. Now, on top of that, I like that the skills you can take, like bodybuilding as a skill, and that's not a percentage, but that skill you're sacrificing, like, say, knowledge demons. And because you're sacrificing knowledge demons for bodybuilding, you're not getting a percentile there, but you have a physical skill, and that physical skill actually buffs your physical stats. So I like the idea of a character who trains physically more and more, the more built and toned they become, and that affects their stats. Um, I also love how combat works with the rounds. For those who don't know, think kind of like Pathfinder 2e, where you have three actions each turn. Well, in Palladium, you get a few, depending on what skills you have and what you're playing, you have multiple actions. But your actions are spread out in a round. So you may have, let's say, four actions, and I may have like three, and I can use, say, a power punch. I use two actions. Okay, so that's my turn. Your turn, you do your action. Come back to me. I use my last action. The rest of that combat, I have nothing I can do till everyone at the table runs out of actions. So I'm kind of sitting duck at that point. Now you can, based on what you're playing, you can spend actions to dodge an attack, and that costs an action. But if you don't want to do that, you can also believe it's parry an attack with your own weapon, but there's a chance it may break. So there's risks to that. Now, what I love too about it is how cinematic the combat is too. Um, for when I was running it, it was very smooth. It was very quick. Like, everyone was just telling me what they were doing. It wasn't like D&D, or I'll use Pathfinder. It wasn't like Pathfinder where players are like, okay, well, my I can spend one action to do this and one action to. No, I'd have a player be like, okay, I want to run up against this, run towards this tree and catapult myself towards the target. And I'd be like, okay, you spend an action to run there, and second, you catapult, roll, you know, just different things like that. Um, I like also the modifiers too for combat, because modifiers can get crazy in Palladium. but not necessarily it should. What I mean is, in say D&D, if like the later editions, if you have a 11, you have a 0 modifier. If you get to 12 and 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, in Palladium, you don't get a modifier until you reach a 16. And then 17, 18, 19, and you can go over 20. Um, in fact, it even has rules for going over 30. Those are very, very rare cases. And even then, the way the game is with all going up, I mean, I haven't read every OCC or RCC, but from what I was seeing, it looks like those modifiers stay frozen like that. So that's what I'd like too. And I like one thing I can go back to Chaosium also. I love how the difficulty of the games are. They're not I mean Call of Cthulhu is pretty deadly, but it's not like you're dead. It's I like that older school feel of the games. Like Pulp Cthulhu you can play and you're more hardy but you can still die. And when it comes to Palladium, their classes feel a lot more alive in the world. And if you play a juicer and I play a vagabond, I'm gonna lose. But I'm a vagabond, and I get all these skills because I'm playing one, because I've been on the streets and learning. So those are the two systems, game system playstyles I really like, and I'd like to know what's your guys' favorites. Thank you, and you take care. See you guys again next time.